belief and values, language and family tradition, dress and diet are central to an individual's sense of identity. Nandito na tayo sa multiculturalism. So, what is multiculturalism? Multiculturalism is a political theory that recognizes, respects, and accommodates cultural diversity within society. It argues that people belong to different cultural, ethnic, religious, and linguistic groups whose identities deserve recognition and protection. It seeks to balance of individual rights. Multiculturalism emerged in the 1960s as a distinct area of academic debate. And over the following decades, the language of cultural diversity supplanted of the race and religion. And then next one, look at this. Franz Borkaban. Look at the picture. Nakikita nyo? Ang nakikita nyo ay kagaya ng suot ng Muslim. Dito, ang nakikita lang ay yung mata. Burka, when we say burka, is the tinatawag sa Muslim na veil, which is yung nilalagay nga nila dyan sa katawan na yan. Ang takip. In 2004, the French National Assembly voted 494 to 36 to ban conspicuous religious symbols in school, including Jewish skull caps, large Christian crosses, silk turbans, and the Muslim veil or burqa. In 2010, France passed an additional law banning face coverings in the public places, including mask and balaklavas. Yun yung mga sinusuot ng mga kapal sa katawan para matakpan o hindi makita yung kanilang balat. Ngayon, a 24-year-old French citizen of Pakistani origin challenged the 2010 law before the European Court of the Human Rights or ECHR. The case argued that the law violated rights protected by the European Convention on Human Rights, which is the respect for family and private life, freedom of thought, conscience, and religion, freedom of speech, protection from discrimination. Ngayon, ayon sa French government, argued that the law was not specifically directed at Muslims. Supporters of the bans justified it on ground of public security. Bakit ito binan? Dahil nga, gusto nila magkaroon ng public security, promoting equality, and the protecting the freedom of Muslim women. Kasi diba, sa culture ng Muslim, ay hindi talaga dapat sila mag-alis ng veil or burqa. Pero may mga iilan na pinapayagan, depende dun sa pamilyang napuntahan, depende dun sa pinapatupad nila na parang batas sa kanilang pamayanan. Yung iba kasi talaga, sobrang higpit talaga. Dapat susunod ka. The next one, the term multiculturalism is widely used in academic and public debates and can be understood in 4 ways. First is multiculturalism as an attitude. Ano-ano nga ulit yung 4 ways? Multiculturalism as an attitude, as a tool of public policy, as an aspect of institutional design, and multiculturalism and moral justification. Multiculturalism as an attitude, it is positive and open attitude toward different cultures. Dito involves yung respecting people and their right to make choices about how they like their lives. Multiculturalism as a tool of public policy, ina-apply to in areas such as education, health, social services, multicultural education, policy focuses on social organization and curriculum. So, dahil nga magkakaiba kayo ng kultura, pwedeng ang kultura mo ay maibahagi mo sa iba. Example na dito ay yung dahil nga as an tool of public policy, pwede mo tong ibahagi sa iba para mas maunawaan nila. Ngayon, isa sa mga example nito ay ang mga pahiyas festival. Dito papasok yung iba't iba. Nandito yung pahiyas, hinulog, festival, ganyan. The third one, multiculturalism as an aspect of institutional design. Converse that the type of institutions, societies should have accommodate cultural diversity. Example, the power-sharing assembly and execute in Northern Ireland created through the 1998 Belfast Agreement. Pang-apat ay multiculturalism and moral justification. It focuses on the reason used to justify multiculturalism, institution, and policies. It concerned with the finding reason that all reasonable people can accept. And the next one is culture, race, ethnicity, and religion. A major challenge in multiculturalism is defining culture. According to Will Kaimlinka, most countries are culturally diverse. The world's 184 independent states contain over 600 living language groups and 5,000 ethnic groups. Very few countries have citizens who all share the same language or belong to the same ethno-national group. So, the next one is culture. According to Will Kaimlika, defines culture as an intergenerational community that occupies a given territory and shares a distinct language and history. Culture provides meaningful ways of life across the full range of human activities. It provides meaningful ways of life across the full range of human activities. Example, culture dito sa Pilipinas, bayanihan, pagmamano, like that. Ito ang isang halimbawa ng culture. The next one is the anthropological perspective on culture. Anthropologists regard culture as a central concept and seek to explain cultural diversity. Meron tayong two major approaches. Ito ay universalism, which is culture explained by underlying universal factors. Includes Marxists and liberals. John Stuart Mill argued that humans have innate rational capacities realized under particular cultural conditions. Functionalists argue that diverse cultural practices can be explained by universal human needs. Understanding The next one, relativism. Rel- Relativism culture is fundamental and not derived from the other factor. So, understanding culture requires interpretation rather than observation alone. So, Ruth Benedict described culture as an integrated pattern of behavior and intelligence. Clifford Geertz view culture as a complex system of signs whose meaning depends on the participant perspective and context. The next one is race and ethnicity. Critics of multiculturalism on the radical or white nationalists argues that multiculturalism allows minority radical groups to maintain distinctive practices, including endogamous or in-group, which is biological reproduction. Dito, race and ethnicity are understood as a fluid socially constructed categories of identify and power rather than fixed biological traits. They serve as a foundational forces that shape political representation, resource distribution, and the fundamental relationship between marginalized groups and the state. Kevin MacDonald argues that multiculturalism facilitates what he calls group evolutionary strategy. While according to Martin and Marger book, race is one of the most misunderstood, misused, and often dangerous concept of the modern world. This term is widespread like people of a particular skin, which is tinatawag siyang race. Yung common na people of a particular skin, ginagamit din yung race, which is the religion, the Jewish race, nationality, the British race, entire woman species, the human race. So, masyadong malawak at marami ang pwedeng gamitin sa race. Kaya tinawag siyang misunderstood, misused, often dangerous concept of the modern world. Race and ethnicity, the term race charged and misconvinced that is difficult to imply on a useful analytic manner. To add confusion, as rooted previously, many groups today defined as ethnic groups were in previous historical periods defined as races. So, yun yung mas nakakalungkot sa mga nangyayari. At sa atin, kadalasan ginagamit itong word na to karamihan sa ethnic group. Ngayon, merong the 1976 Race Relation Act defined racial group by reference to color, race, nationality, ethnic origins, and national origins. Relationship between the race and culture are closely connected because discrimination can be based on language and accent, physical characteristics, dress, religion. So the next one is religion. Religion is a highly complex phenomenon. Meron tayong 4 modes of religion. The existential mode, the intellectual mode, the institution mode, the ethical mode. So, religion, balik tayo sa religion muna. Much debate about cultural diversity concern the relationship between religion and politics, particularly the coexistence of different belief systems within the same political territory. According to Eric Sharpers, meron siyang 4 modes of religion. Pag sinabing existential mode, focus on faith. Ito yung paniniwala nila sa Diyos. Ito yung pangalawa naman ay intellectual mode, focuses on beliefs and conscious acceptance of doctrines, mga doktrina. Tinatanggap din nila to. Institutional mode, ito yung centers on authoritative organization that maintain and transmit doctrines. Ethical mode emphasizes behavioral relationship within a religious community and with outsiders. The next one, multiculturalism and Islamic radicalization. British government study factors are relevant to explaining radicalization. First is the individual's perception of society's acceptance of them. B. The individual's perception of equal opportunities. C. The individual's sense of a feeling for part of society. D. The extent to which the individual identifies with the dominant values of society. Dito, papasok ang the right to cultural membership according to Will Kimlicka. He argues that the individuals, we have moral rights to cultural membership. He maintains that cultures provides a context of choice. The next one is multiculturalism and feminism. It is oppression of women in the name of culture or the protection of culture. First is a polygyny, forced marriage, female circumcision, male violence, access to resources, segregation justified on religious grounds, and the last one is the dress. First, ano nga ba yung polygyny? Ito yung right of the husband to have more than one wife. Tinatawag tong polygyny. Ang spelling niya ay Polygyny. Polyandry naman pag babae, yung may asawa na higit pa sa isa. Ang pangalawa ay forced marriage. Dito sa forced marriage, ang fundamental right to order your privileged life by choosing your own partner. Dapat ang babae ay ikakasal sa edad na 12 to 13 years old. Tapos ang lalaki ay dapat nasa 20 to 30s. Sinabi naman nating female circumcision, ito yung genital mutilation. Ito yung clitoridectomy. Ay yung may tinatanggal sa maselang bagay ng babae. Practice in 25 countries and affect 8 million worldwide. It is illegal, but women who send their daughters for such an operation, we often not prosecuted. Male violence, a criminal offense for a woman to inflict violence in his wife or children's. Access to resource, ito yung magkaroon ng resourcement sa lahat. Segregation, justified or religious grounds, religious groups. Christian churches are exempt from certain kinds of anti-discrimination. And the dress, yung karapatan ng mga babae na magkaroon ng kalayaan na magsuot na anumang uri ng damit sa kanilang kagustuhan. Ngayon, bago yun, dun sa feminism, papasok din pala dun ang bawsi. So, conclusion, New social movements or NSMS are collective action emerging since the mid-1960s that prioritize human rights, cultural identity, and equality of life over the economic and class-based struggles of the industrial era. Feminism in political theory is a framework that examines power dynamics related to gender. Multiculturalism reaffirms the value of freedom and equality but rearticulate this as equality in offer indifference and freedom in context. And that's all everyone. Thank you.